All right, we live here with DJC. Haven't been live on here in a minute. So there's some news right now in the media. Uh looks like McGregor versus Chandler is off. All that for nothing, eh? I mean, that kind of begs the question, what is Michael Chandler gonna do? Honestly, what I'm thinking is Chandler could honestly wait for Conor McGregor. Like, I wouldn't say all hope is lost for Chandler versus McGregor. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't rule that out just yet because think about it. Okay, Connor didn't enter the USADA testing pool within the 48 hours he was given, right? So he can't compete this year, but you know what they could do? They could give him another chance and maybe they could just give him till January. You know what I'm saying? So give him another chance to step in the pool in like July, and then just book McGregor versus Chandler for New Year's or Super Bowl weekend, February next year. Although I'm sure that's not ideal for Chandler. I'm sure he'd like to get a fight in this year. I'm sure he wouldn't want to wait. And I'm sure he doesn't want to sit out all 2023. But when money talks, and if if waiting for the Connor fight means he has to sit out for the rest of 2K23, then so be it. That might be the smartest move for Michael Chandler rather than risking it against Armin Sarukian. But if he doesn't fight Armin, maybe he could fight Beneil Dariush. But I don't know, man. If you were like scheduled to fight Connor, although the fight wasn't scheduled, but if let's say you were supposed to fight the big name, the icon of McGregor, and then you get told you're not fighting him anymore. Fight Beneil or fight Armin. Would you be motivated for that fight? Would you want to get out of bed to take a matchup like that? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Uh, if I'm Chandler, I'm gonna see if I can wait. I'm gonna look at my options first. I'm gonna see if waiting is an option. I'm gonna see if we can get this fight on for like the first quarter of 2024. But if not, then I guess Chandler's gonna have no choice but to fight someone else. Maybe if the winner of Poirier Gaethje, maybe if they don't get a title shot, maybe Chandler can fight for the BMF belt against either Dustin or Justin. But the problem with that is Chandler's coming off a loss, and he's coming off a loss to Poirier. And if Poirier wins, is the UFC really going to give him an immediate rematch with Dustin Poirier? I mean, it won't be immediate for Poirier, but it will be immediate for Chandler. Am I going to risk two losses in a row to the same guy? I mean, it'll be a big fight, but at what cost? If Gaethje wins, that's different because him and Gaethje hadn't fought in like 2 years. But even that's such a dangerous fight for Michael Chandler. Gaethje ain't any better of a matchup, so maybe rematch Charles Oliveira. Maybe. If anything, maybe rematch Charles if waiting for Connor isn't an option. Or just say screw it and just fight Armin Sarukian, shut him up if he can, and then see if he can get the Connor fight going again. And if not, then hey, I guess move on. But yeah, that is tough though if you're Michael Chandler, man. You were gonna get that Connor fight, the fight of your dreams, the red panty night, and then it gets swept from under you like a rug. I mean, with all this stuff that's going on in Connor's life right now, it seems unlikely. He's in some legal trouble where he's been accused of, you know, R-wording somebody. I'm not going to say that word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and he just doesn't seem committed to stepping into the pool. So, yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen, man. It seems uncertain. If Suarez submits on Andrade, and she deserves a title shot. Oh, definitely, 100%. Honestly, even though the Verna Jandiroba matchup was probably a better matchup for Tatiana Suarez, legacy-wise, I think Andrade is better for Tatiana Suarez. It's a big test. It's a bigger test for Tatiana, and this fight will show us what Tatiana Suarez is made of. You know, when opportunity knocks, you can't say no. And sometimes the universe will do that. The universe might shuffle matchups. They might present different opportunities. And right now, this is the perfect opportunity for Tatiana to either show us that she's not all that, or she is the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, and she's coming for that title. So legacy-wise, perfect matchup. Style-wise, tough matchup. But hey, if she can overcome a tough style like Jessica Andrade, get a win over her, then people can actually no longer say that Tatiana Suarez isn't that good or she's all hype. Beating Andrade is a very valid win. Like, despite Andrade being on her recent slide 2-fight losing streak, Jessica Andrade is still a very dangerous fighter. She's still a dangerous fighter. She still has heavy hands. Her takedown defense is still very good. She's still very hard to hold down. She's still a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That danger of Jessica has not gone away just because she's not winning as of recent. So I do think Andrade is sliding and isn't really all the way in her prime anymore, but stylistically, she's a threat to Tatiana, and she's always been a stylistic threat to Tatiana. And this fight is going to tell us the kind of fighter that Tatiana Suarez is, and I cannot wait to find out. Um, I need to find out what ranking Tati or Jessica Andrade is right now. Is she like ranked number 5? Let me go on UFC.com right now and check. I'm gonna go UFC rankings right now. If she can avoid the power shots and get Andrade on the ground, she could control her. Oh, I hope so. I hope she could hold Andrade. Oh, Andrade is 5. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I hope she could hold her down. I really, really hope she could keep her down because Andrade has shown she can get up when taken down. But she's only shown that against who though? Rose, Claudia Gadelia. Um, she did get up right away when she got taken. Well, actually, no, she didn't get up because Erin jumped on her back and choked her out. But if Erin didn't go for that choke, Andrade was going to get back to her feet. And I don't know if Tatiana is going to have that same submission threat or ability that Erin does. But maybe she will. I can actually see Tatiana submitting Jessica. And honestly, screw it. I'm going to predict Tatiana Suarez wins by submission, rear naked choke. I think Tatiana might land some decent shots on the feet as well. I mean, Andrade is very basic and predictable in the stand up. Even though on paper she has the advantage, all Tatiana needs to do is move her feet, pump that jab, stay behind her reach, stick and move, jab, 1-2, maybe use some of her long kicks because she's got some long legs, good kicks. Doesn't matter if Jessica catches them. She doesn't really catch kicks anyway. If she does, she doesn't do anything with them. But it's not like Andrade is going to take her down or anything. So Tatiana can defend those takedowns. But if it does come down to like a pure wrestling match, then Tatiana wins that hands down. But like I said, legacy wise, perfect for Tatiana. And if she does beat Jessica, beating Jessica is better for her career than beating Verna. Because let's say she beat Verna, would the UFC be quick to give her a title shot coming off a win over Verna as opposed to coming off a win over a former champion with a loaded resume like Andrade, a former champion who's competed across both weight classes? Like, Andrade is a badass fighter. She is a badass fighter. And Tatiana beating her, boom, there you go, title shot. Although it depends on what's going on with Yan Xiaonan, because I'm thinking Yan might just wait for the winner of Lemos versus Wei Li. So if that's the case, maybe Tatiana might need one more, or maybe they can do Tatiana versus Yan Xiaonan as like a title eliminator. That actually would make the most sense. I'm glad Verna pulled out. No one wants to see Suarez destroy that bum. yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, that would have been easy for Tatiana, and I would have liked for her to get an easy matchup. But if Tatiana can show that she can dominate a tough style like Jessica, then she is as legit as she's hyped to be, and she's undefeated for a reason. So I'm hoping that Jessica's not going to be like the first one to give her loss, but I don't see that happening, man. I think Jessica Andrade, her time is done. Her sun is setting. I think Jessica's days as being a top fighter in any weight division is over. It's done. I think she's figured out. Girls are catching up. Girls are getting better. Tatiana, even though she's like a bit older than Andrade, she's in her prime right now. She's got momentum. And yeah, she's just yet to be stopped. And Jessica right now might just be the stepping stone that's going to propel Tatiana to where she needs to be in her career. But, we'll see. Lemos versus Whaley is going to be crazy. No way that fight is going to the scorecards. I mean, who knows? Crazier things have happened. I mean, there's a lot of fights we've said that will not go the distance, and they've gone the distance. Although, yeah, I think either way a finish will happen. I think Whaley's going to get a finish, but if she loses, I could definitely see Lemos maybe finishing her off. Hopefully not. I want Whaley to win that fight, but I said Nunes versus Aldana wasn't going to go the distance, and it did. That one went the distance. So, okay, what else was I gonna say? I was gonna. Oh yeah, Jessica. On is it just me or doesn't Andrade kind of remind you of like a female RDA? Because Jessica Andrade, just like RDA, former champion, didn't last long with the title, and they've both competed in multiple weight classes, and they both will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Both Brazilian, and they're always down to fight the toughest styles of matchups, and they never say no to anybody. That's who Jessica reminds me of. Rafael dos Anjos. She's like the RDA of the strawweight division. Carter, don't stress about this matchup. I know you want Suarez to win, but don't be overly nervous because I'm confident she wins. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you're confident, and yeah, I think she should win. I think she should win this because Tatiana is a very dominant wrestler, um, better wrestler than Andrade for sure. Andrade has good wrestling and she's strong, but strength can only take you so far. And lately, her strength has not been serving her well or helping her. She's definitely not out wrestling Tatiana, and I'm sure Tatiana wrestles with dudes in the gym, guys who are a lot more physically capable than Andrade, and she probably controls them on the ground, out grapples them. So I think against Jessica, she should be good. And I mean, I thought that Jessica would be a bad matchup for Erin, and Erin Blanchfield won that fight pretty much everywhere. She dominated the stand up. She did get hit a few times, but she was picking Jessica Andrade apart with just basic boxing fundamentals and movement. And Tatiana is developing her striking, and I'm pretty damn sure with some basics, she might be able to pick Jessica Andrade apart while mixing in takedowns. And her wrestling is better than Erin, so Andrade might be even more screwed if she gets taken down. Lemos got to finish Whaley in the first round because the longer it goes, Whaley will take over. Yeah, I totally agree. Lemos hasn't really shown overly great cardio. You know, she usually does slow down the longer the fight goes. Although she did show good cardio in her last fight against Marina, you know, she did get a finish against Rodriguez. She finished her off in like the third round, but that's Marina, man. Wei Li is like a different caliber of matchup. She's a different caliber of matchup than Marina Rodriguez, 100%. Hmm. But yeah, I mean that'll be interesting to see what Lemos can do though. I mean, I don't see her winning, but anything's possible. You know, the power she has, anyone in this sport can get caught. Um, Whaley's been caught before, so yeah, I wouldn't rule out Lemos' chances. But I just think Whaley's just more seasoned of a fighter. You know, she's just more proven, better strength of schedule, and I think her IQ is better. She comes from a better camp. Yeah, and she's just more well rounded. So based off those factors, I gotta take Whaley to win. All right, I gotta talk about something else now. I'm talking about these topics out of order because I put Erin versus Pena before Andrade versus Suarez, but that was mentioned first. But now I'm going to talk about Pena versus Blanchfield. So we got. Oh wait, do you think Whaley will be more patient this time or aggressive as usual? I think she's going to be patient. I think she's going to be patient. Whaley's a smart fighter, and I don't see her just being dumb and trying to like engage in like a slugfest with Lemos. I think she's going to be patient, defensively sound, use a lot of kicks, jabs, try to get the fight in the clinch the best she can, and try to work her wrestling because that's like a new layer added to her game. You know, her wrestling is very good. So But we got Erin Blanchfield calling out Juliana Pena. She wants in the bantamweight title mix. Is she gonna get that fight? I mean, she's making enough noise, but is Dana White gonna be like, yeah, let's drag up this flyweight up a division. Let's make a fight that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe they'll make that fight. But I'm expecting the next matchup for the title to be Juliana Pena versus Raquel Pennington. I think that's going to be the next fight. And because Connor's not fighting this year, there's room to put that fight like December 16th potentially in the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, December 2023. That's likely when Juliana Pena is going to return, and she'll face Pennington, who's on like a 5-fight um, win streak. But hey, if they want to make that Blanchfield fight, then go ahead. I don't care. Pena's gonna win the title either way, no matter who she fights next. And I'm damn sure she's not losing to Erin Blanchfield, man. I think Erin, she's young, cocky, and she's biting off more than she can chew. And seriously, she needs to just focus on her own division because I really don't think Blanchfield could do well at 135. Like I said in my video yesterday, she beats no one in the top 5. Like, could you tell me with a straight face that Erin Blanchfield would beat Irene Aldana? If you think so, you're dumb. You're stupid if you think Aldana would lose. And I know people will say, oh, but Irene has no grappling. Fuck out of here. Aldana has grappling. Shut the fuck up. She knocks Blanchfield stiff. Ketlin Vieira would be too big. Holly Holm too big. Style not good. Holly can defend takedowns and her striking is way better. Raquel Pennington would beat Blanchfield as well. And if she can't beat all these other girls I mentioned, then she cannot fuck with Juliana Pena. Regardless of what you say, you can talk all the crap you want about Pena being a terrible fighter. Pena is an elite fighter. Pena's dealt with a lot of grapplers before. Okay, she beat Kat Zingano. You can say that Kat wasn't in her prime. You take that version of Kat and you put her against Erin. UFC 200 Kat Zingano would beat Erin Blanchfield. Just saying. Juliana Pena handled that. Juliana Pena handled the wrestling of McMahon and came back to submit her later. So I think she'd be just fine dealing with a flyweight Blanchfield's wrestling. Blanchfield, I can't see her just going out there and bullying Pena. In the wrestling department, Pena's jiu-jitsu is just as capable. She's got submission ability of her own. Her submission defense is pretty good when she's expecting the sub threat, like her fight with Amanda Nunes. In 2 fights, Amanda Nunes could not submit the girl who got submitted by GDR and Valentina. And that's because Juliana Pena knows that Amanda Nunes has submissions, studying her for years. So she's been prepared to defend those subs of Amanda, and Amanda could not get those rear naked chokes on her. And she almost armbarred Amanda Nunes. So I think on the ground, she'd be safe with Erin, and she might be able to wear Erin out and submit her. And even in the striking department, I think Juliana Pena could beat her on the feet as well, okay? She's not Jessica Andrade. Okay, she's got more reach than Andrade, and she's more likely to land her shots on Erin than Andrade and do damage when she does land. Pena versus Erin on the ground would be crazy. Both got some jujitsu, nasty jujitsu. Yeah, for sure. And Pena's jujitsu is very underrated. And I think people, they undermine it because she's been subbed by strikers. But man, it's MMA. Like, you got to be good everywhere. And you got to factor in that Juliana Pena, she underestimated the ground game of Jermaine and she underestimated the ground game of Valentina. But Valentina's well rounded though. Like, Valentina's good on the ground, so that should be no surprise that Pena got subbed by her. And Jermaine Durandamy, before her layoff, she's coming back soon, by the way. But before her layoff, Jermaine Durandamy was showing some improvements in her jiu-jitsu. Like, she almost triangle armbarred Amanda Nunes. Like, people forget that she almost submitted Amanda. So that's why I wasn't completely shocked that she submitted Juliana Pena like that. But Juliana was caught off guard. I think Juliana, because she'd be so prepared for the submissions of Erin, I don't think Erin could submit her. And Erin couldn't even finish Miranda Maverick. So I don't think she finishes Pena, and if she doesn't, is she gonna grind her way to a decision? I don't think so. Uh, who do you think Josiane Nunes should fight next? Probably the winner of Chelsea Chandler versus Norma Dumont. Holly Holm versus Mayra. Who you got? Um, I got Holly Holm. I want Holly to lose because I'm sick of her getting these title shots. I'd kind of rather some fresh blood atop the division, but Holly Holm likely isn't losing to anybody. Now that Nunes is gone. Yeah, Holly's just good. Unfortunately, she may be 40, but she dominated her last opponent. Arguably should have beat Ketlin Vieira, and she dominated my girl Irina Aldana, and she beat Raquel Pennington twice. And those wins have aged well. So yeah, I think Holly's got it. I don't think Myra has the style to stop Holly Holm, but I hope Holly does lose. But isn't that crazy though? Like we right now could be in a reality. We right now could be in a reality where Holly Holm, after all these years, could become champion again. And here we were saying, like in 2017, 18, that she'll never sniff that title again when Nunes and Cyborg were active at 145, 135. Even when Amanda knocked Cyborg out of the UFC, we were still saying that, it's over for Holly Holm. But Amanda's gone, and I really can't see who she can't beat in this division. So is Holly versus Pena 50-50? Yeah, I'd say so. I do think Holly is a bit of a bad matchup for Juliana Pena. But it's definitely like not a fight that Pena can't win. Like Holly Holm does have the advantage in the striking over Juliana. She's got the cardio to keep up with Pena. So I don't know if Pena could bank on uh, breaking Holly, melting her with pace like she can do to others. Like I don't think she can bank on outlasting Holly. Holly out cardioing her might not happen. And then wrestling wise, Juliana's got good wrestling, but Holly Holm has good takedown defense and good takedowns of her own. She might be stronger than Juliana. She might be able to take Pena down. Pena doesn't have good takedown defense, so yeah, I don't know. But I will say, Juliana Pena might be able to submit Holly Holm. I could see it. I could see potentially like Pena offer back, finding a submission, or Pena might be able to like sneak in like a swift takedown, like Misha Tate did, and she might be able to get the back of Holly Holm, and she might be able to submit her. Like she might be able to win this fight the way that Misha Tate did. I could dead ass see that happening, and I'd hope that would happen. And like also, I think Juliana, she'd be so prepared for Holly's style because Holly is so figured out and predictable. I feel like even though Juliana does have a bad habit of blitzing her opponents or running down, chin up, eyes closed, I feel like against Holly, she would actually be more patient. She'd see the head kick coming. She wouldn't get caught by that. She might be able to land some good shots of her own on the feet against Holly Holm. I think yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like even on the feet, that might not be a complete shutout, actually. That's a weird matchup. I'd like to see it. Myra might submit Holly. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I would like for you to explain why you see that happening. Um, I haven't seen many of Myra's fights other than her fight with I haven't seen many of her fights other than her fight with Menin Furo, but I don't really know much about her. But yeah, I'd like you to enlighten me on that. But I mean, if she does finish Holly, that would be like the best thing ever for that division because Holly's old, man. She's old. She's had enough title shots, man. We're all sick of you, Holly. I used to be like a huge Holly Holm fan for a while, but then like it just died out. Like I think I think like maybe around 2020, I just got sick of Holly, and that was around the time I became an even bigger Irene Aldana fan. And I'm like, all right, I hope Aldana gets rid of her and becomes like the new star moving forward in that division. And then fucking Holly just had to like 50-45 Irene Aldana. And the same night, I had to watch Pena get choked unconscious, man. That's brutal. She's got some slick jujitsu. Watch her last two fights. All right, I will. Do you think she could like take Holly down and like hold her down long enough to get a submission? Because Holly Holm is pretty tough to take down, and then she's good at getting back to her feet too. But man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole bantamweight title picture unfolds now that Amanda Nunes is gone. And man, thank God Amanda Nunes left. Thank God Amanda's gone, man. Holy shit, I'm glad she's not here anymore. This is nothing against Amanda Nunes. This is no disrespect to Amanda Nunes. It's just what the division needs, man. It needs to breathe. And it was the worst thing ever when Amanda Nunes on my birthday week completely annihilated Juliana Pena. And I had to suffer through that, watching Pena get destroyed, watching my girl get destroyed 5 rounds straight, lose the belt to Amanda, who's already dominated the division. And I'm like, wow, bantamweight's hopeless now. And like when Amanda lost to Pena in the first fight, I was like, okay, this is Irene Aldana's chance to be champ now. And then when Nunes got the belt back, I'm like, fuck, I guess that's not happening now. But my bias got me to pick Irene Aldana anyway, and Aldana still lost, but I think there's still hope for her regardless, especially now that Amanda's gone. I think Aldana can get that belt. And now that Nunes is gone, it's just going to allow other girls to shine. And it's just going to allow the division to grow because if Nunes didn't retire, it's like, what's left for her? Go beat up Juliana Pena again? I mean, what's the point of that trilogy? You know, Pena's done nothing to earn it. I don't think the outcome would really go any differently. And then after beating Pena, then what's next after beating Pena? Beat up Holly Holm again, like, or maybe hope Catelyn can earn her way back to the top and get a title shot. Like, what else is there for Nunes to do? So this was definitely the perfect time for Nunes to retire. Although in a perfect world, Juliana Pena would have completed that armbar in round 4, and Nunes would have retired off a second straight loss to Pena. And then we could have got Pena versus Aldana, and Irene Aldana probably would have won the fight against Juliana, and I would have got my perfect case scenario: Pena versus Aldana, and then Aldana becoming champion. But no, Amanda Nunes just had to fucking crush my dreams. No. Holly is strong as hell. LOL. Myra gotta submit her offer back. Transition to a leg lock. Yeah, it's gonna be tough though. It's like a lot to ask for because Holly Holm will probably just let her up. If Myra like pulls guard, Holly Holm's just gonna be like, stand back up, bitch, and then just gonna continue to box her face off. So, and I'm not sure if Myra's gonna have anything for her on the feet. Like I think to beat Holly Holm, you got to be very well rounded, but you got to have good boxing too. And Irene had good boxing, but the issue with that is Aldana, for some goddamn reason, she doesn't want to cut off the cage. She has not fixed that weakness. Like if Irene Aldana learned to cut off the fucking octagon and played the patient game and let Holly Holm come to her, Aldana would have had a way better chance of winning that fight against Holly. But yeah, she still hasn't fixed that issue. And if they fight again, it'll probably go very similar. Although I think Aldana would do better in a rematch. She's got to cut the goddamn cage off and she's got to be patient or else she's not going to beat someone like Holly Holm ever. Watch Myra versus Lena Landsberg. Then you can see how she might do against Holly. All right. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll definitely watch that after this live. Irene gets gun shy in big fight. She's got to overcome that. Okay, people say that, but Who has she been gun shy against? And how many big fights has she had? She's had two big fights in her UFC career. Holly Holm was a big fight. And in that fight, Aldana wasn't really gun shy. That's not what I saw. Aldana was very aggressive against Holly Holm in that fight. From what I remember, I mean, I don't want to watch that fight again because I don't like to watch Aldana get beat up, so no thanks. But from what I remember watching that fight 2.5 years ago, I specifically remember Aldana was pressing forward the whole time, but running into counters. Holly would just counter and then pivot out of the way, side kicker, and then pivot out of the way, stick and move. And it's like Aldana just had nothing for her, and then Aldana would get taken down. Um, I just think the issue with Irene in the Holly fight is, again, she played Holly's game, making Holly look better than she really is, which is a damn shame because with someone of the boxing of Aldana, she should have been able to give Holly a bigger challenge because Holly struggled with the stand up of Raquel Pennington. She had to cage hug Raquel to beat her. If it just came down to just striking, Raquel might have been able to win the rematch with Holly, in all honesty. Vieira had success on the feet with Holly Holm, and she's not half the boxer Aldana is. So the issue that Aldana had to fix in that Holly fight was just be patient, cut off the cage. And with the Nunes fight, that's the only other big fight she's had where she was gunshot. Okay? And then another fight for her that might have been big outside the Holly and the Amanda fight was the Ketlin Vieira fight. She fought the number 2 girl who was undefeated, coming off a win over Kat Zingano. Everyone was hyping up Vieira as the next big thing. And Aldana went out there confident, aggressive, and she knocked Vieira the F out. So I don't know if the issue is Irene can't win big fights. I think the issue is that she let the moment get to her against Amanda Nunes. Although another big fight she did have pre-UFC was in Invicta, where she did get finished against Tanya Evinger. And pre-UFC, Tanya Evinger was like probably like who Fedor was. You know what I'm saying? Like Tanya Evinger was probably like the female Fedor Emelianenko, the best fighter outside the UFC. So it was like Tanya was probably like the Ronda Rousey of like Invicta, where like she was beating everybody, dominating everybody in Invicta FC. And then when she came to the UFC, she was like completely washed. So yeah, she's had a few big fights that she's lost. Evinger in her prime when she was champion. Also Larissa Pacheco. That loss aged pretty well because look at how Pacheco's doing now. And then Holly and Amanda. Damn. Bro, I think she clipped Amanda. When she clipped Amanda, if she would have capitalized on it, she would have got Nunes. Yeah, you're right, man. If you're talking about like the first round, that is annoying, man. Like Aldana potentially could have got a first round KO. That is annoying. But oh well. You live and you learn. The only thing Aldana can do is, even though she screwed up this opportunity, is she just has to move forward now and just only do better against the next opponent. Hopefully earn her way back, and hopefully second time is a charm. Chelsea versus Norma. Who you got? I don't know. I need to watch more of Chelsea's fights. Who do you got? I hope they don't get rid of featherweight division because it's hard for those bigger girls to make 135. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, a lot of people are like campaigning for that division to be gotten rid of. But I don't think they should get rid of it. There's some good fighters in there. Honestly, what they should just do is maybe make the winner of Chelsea Chandler versus Norma Dumont fight for like the vacant title against maybe Jermaine when she comes back, or Holly Holm, or somebody. Like they can still put on a vacant title fight in the featherweight division. All they need to do is just add more girls. Like bring someone from like the Contender Series, or like do another tough season of like women's featherweights and try to build a roster. Like the UFC needs to put more effort into the women's featherweight division. They need to do that. So my prediction now for like the women's bantamweight title picture, who's going to be the champion? So I think that it's going to start with Juliana Pena. She's going to fight Raquel Pennington. And I do see the Venezuelan vixen winning that fight against Raquel Pennington. And then I think after that, who's going to be next? Probably maybe Holly Holm if she beats Myra, or maybe Ketlin Vieira. Whoever gets the shot next, I'm not sure. If it's Ketlin Vieira, I'm sure Juliana Pena would beat Ketlin. If she fights Holly, I'm a little bit worried about that matchup. Um, but Pena might be able to hold on to that title for like maybe one more defense. And then Irene Aldana, maybe they'll give her Jermaine, but I kind of don't want them to make that fight because that's not a good matchup for Irene, man. Jermaine is a way better striker than Aldana, but who knows? Aldana's best hope is maybe Jermaine Durandamy is washed. Maybe she can beat out of prime Durandamy. I'm just kind of hoping they feed like Aldana the easiest matchup possible for her to like build her confidence back. But yeah, I say whoever Aldana fights next, she should probably win against and earn a title shot with like a good performance, and then maybe fight Juliana Pena for the bantamweight title. I think Chelsea will win. She packs power and she got a good ground game. Norma is good, but she hesitates sometimes. Yeah, I've actually heard some good things about Chelsea Chandler. I've heard some good things about her. So yeah, who knows? I guess maybe she will win. And if she does win, they should put her in there for like a vacant featherweight title shot. Why not? Why not just do that? With all this talk about featherweight and bantamweight, what's going to happen with the women's flyweight division? So we got Grasso versus Shevchenko too. We know that's going to happen. We just need to know when. Um, but then who is Manon going to fight? She called out Erin, but Erin Blanchfield seems more interested in fighting Juliana than anything else. But I really think in Paris they need to do Blanchfield versus Manon in a title eliminator. And if not, I mean, what's happening with Talis Santos? Does she still got visa issues? Thoughts on Denise Gomez? I really need to look into her. Could you like maybe like describe her for me, like her style? What weight class is she in? Hold on a second. Come on. Oh yeah, I've seen her before, Denise Gomez. I've seen her before. Let me look at her shirt dog. 7 wins, 2 losses. Oh, she's fighting the Yasmin girl. That's actually a good matchup. I think Yasmin might take that. Well, I actually don't know because I don't really know much about Denise, so I can't really make a judgment. But I hope Yasmin wins. Huh, so she's a Contender Series alum, and she's basically two and one in the UFC. Former Invicta fighter. Okay. Did you hear Val say that Erin declined a fight with her? When? When? When did Erin Blanchfield decline a fight with her? What the fuck? When was that fight even offered? And was that fight like offered for like the interim title? Like, and why did they even offer Erin Valentina anyway? Why was that matchup even a conversation? Why was that even a convo? Like, is Alexa Grasso injured or something? Because I'm damn sure they would just want to give Valentina the immediate rematch. But wow. Wow. Erin Blanchfield declines Valentina. What the hell? What the hell? Why would she decline the biggest opportunity of her life? Why would she decline that? Why would a young, ambitious fighter try and make a name for herself decline the number one contender, former champion? That would have been perfect for her rankings wise and legacy wise. She could have gone out there potentially and beaten Valentina. I don't know if she would have, but let's say she did. She's the number one girl. She's beaten Valentina. That's a title shot right there. That's a fucking title shot right there. She could fight Valentina right now and then fight Alexa Grasso before the year's out and get her wish of becoming the youngest UFC WMMA champ ever. But she declined? What? That's stupid. I did see in my comment section, though, someone did say that she declined that fight. Val said she wanted to stay active, and in the meantime, fight Erin until her rematch with Grasso. Wow. So, wow. Okay. I mean, the former champion was willing to not wait for an immediate rematch. She was willing to stay active and fight contenders. Wow. And Erin Blanchfield had a chance and she said no. And why is that? She said no because she wants to fight for the bantamweight title. She could have just took the Valentina fight right now, beat Valentina Shevchenko, and then fought Grasso by the end of the year. What the hell was Erin thinking? I don't understand this woman. Is she dumb? She said, oh, well, I want to fight for the bantamweight title so I can be the youngest champ in WMA history ever. So that's why I don't want to wait for the winner of Grasso versus Shevchenko too. Well, they just offered you Valentina Shevchenko probably for the summer, and you said no. You are actually stupid. My respect for her had gone down just by a bit for her coming at my girl Pena like that, and now it's gone down even further for her declining the biggest opportunity of her life. Like, Erin Blanchfield needs to explain herself. Erin Blanchfield needs to explain herself. Like, what is she afraid of? I call BS. Watch her interview with Shaq MMA. I don't know how true it is. I believe Val because Erin is trying to fight for the bantamweight title. But her reasoning to fight for the bantamweight title is so she can fight for the belt, win it right now, which is 24. Okay, she can beat Valentina right now, July or August, fight Alexa Grasso in like the fall. She's not going to be 25 until like 2024 May. So I don't understand. What's the logic behind this? And I wonder when that Alexa Grasso rematch is going to happen. I'm thinking, okay, I heard that like there's going to be a UFC event, the T-Mobile Arena, September 16th. So maybe they'll do like two pay-per-views back to back in September, one in Sydney and then a week later one in Las Vegas. So maybe September 16th we'll see Grasso Shevchenko too. If not, maybe they'll put that one in Abu Dhabi or maybe Madison Square Garden. I guess we're just gonna have to find out. Yeah, maybe they'll probably do that one September 16th, or maybe they'll put them in Sydney. Because Valentina was actually supposed to fight in Sydney, or not Sydney. She was actually supposed to fight, I think it was Perth, Australia, in June 2020 against JoJo Wood. And that was going to be headlined by Volkanovski versus Holloway too. But then Valentina got the knee injury, and of course that whole card got scrapped because of the coronavirus. So Yeah, but maybe now, come full circle, she might get another shot to actually fight in Australia. They were supposed to do a Mexican event in May for Cinco de Mayo, but they didn't. So Dana said September would be for that. Okay, but September 16th? And if it's September 16th, why are they going to Las Vegas? And who was supposed to headline the Cinco de Mayo event? Was that supposed to be Brandon Moreno against Pantoja or something? Were they like going to do Pantoja versus Moreno? Because I don't think they would have just done Grasso on a 2-month turnaround to rematch Valentina in May. I don't think that was happening. But man, the UFC, they're fumbling big time with this opportunity because they have 3 Mexican champions right now, but for how long? How long? You know, what if Yair Rodriguez and Brandon Moreno lose at UFC 290 and they were left with Alexa Grasso? They don't let they don't let flyweight champions, they don't let women flyweight champions, they don't let female champions headline pay-per-views unless you're Amanda Nunes. But Amanda's gone, Ronda's gone, every WMMA champion in strawweight and flyweight, they're co-headliners. So they're not going to let Alexa Grasso be a pay-per-view main event in Mexico. They might, but I mean, if Yair fumbles it against Volk, which is very likely, there goes their chance. They don't have a Mexican champion. And then if Brandon Moreno loses to Pantoja, again, there goes their chance. So they better hope that Brandon Moreno at least can win. Like if Moreno can win, they can probably have him headline a pay-per-view in Mexico. But if the UFC is so fortunate that the Mexican sweep can continue on July 8th, they got to get on that. They got to jump on that opportunity to make a Mexican pay-per-view, man. They can't keep lingering around because nothing in this sport is guaranteed. Anyone can lose anytime. It's very possible Moreno could lose to Pantoja. And I think Volkanovski is beating Yair Rodriguez. I think interim is all Yair is going to get. Although if Yair does beat Volk, they could probably do like an immediate rematch in Mexico, which would be pretty dope. The original plan was supposed to be Jones Stipe for international fight week. Oh yeah, that's fucking annoying, man. That's annoying. But of course, Stipe, John Jones, they're both playing games. One guy's saying the other's afraid of them. We don't know who's telling the truth. We don't know if John is delaying it, if Stipe is delaying it. Volk versus Yair is a good headliner, but I would have liked to have seen John after 3 years out do a 4-month turnaround and fight Stipe in July. That would have been even bigger, but we can't have nice things. I guess we gotta wait till MSG. Maybe Tala can fight Chukagan or Maya on the upcoming Brazil card. Oh yeah, when is that? Is that like November? Yeah, that is. Okay. Yeah, hopefully that's when Tala Santos does return, man. I want to see Tala back. I want to see Santos back, man. With everything that's going on in the flyweight division, with Valentina just losing her belt, this division is shaking up, man. We need a beast like Santos back. I think Pantoja submits Moreno. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He'll probably. I don't know. Actually, I don't. I think Moreno's gonna win. He could lose, but Moreno's got pretty good anti-jiu-jitsu. So if Pantoja wins, he'll probably just win a decision through like riding Moreno's back throughout the rounds. But Moreno will probably like fight the hands or something. Once that fell out, everything came to sorts. Stipe is training, but he's flaky. Yeah, it's true. Um, Tala is someone who has messed up in my O. And how has she messed up? What did she do that messed up? Erin Luis. Uh, Erin beats Juliana Pena easily. Yeah, okay. Keep living in a fantasy land, boy. NSAC approves permits for UFC events on September 16th and December 16th, T-Mobile Arena. She's literally been quiet too long and has not fought in over a year. Yeah, man. And then I heard that she could have actually fought Erin, but the reason why she didn't was not because she couldn't get a visa, but because her husband couldn't get a visa and she doesn't want to leave the country without him, which I think is kind of fucking stupid if you ask me. Like, why can't you just leave Brazil? Why can't you just leave Brazil, fight Erin in the States, whoop her ass like you were going to, and then you can see your hubby back in Brazil? But whatever. I mean, are you really gonna throw away your career for your husband just because he can't leave Brazil? Like, why are you gonna waste all this time? All right, low raider. So you think they're gonna do a pay per view? So you think UFC 194 is gonna be September 16th? Erin will catch Pena with an elbow as she does her retarded blitz. Okay, keep telling yourself that. Pena got subbed by GDR. Erin is 5x the grappler. Yeah, cool. And Amanda Nunes in 2 fights couldn't submit Juliana Pena, and I'd say she's more of a better grappler than Erin. So Erin Blanchfield couldn't submit Miranda Maverick. She couldn't submit the can that she fought in her UFC debut. Erin Blanchfield also couldn't submit Rogan Walker, who Juliana Pena coached against. The last time Manon fought someone was October against Caitlin Chukagian. And by the way, Juliana Pena has never been beaten easily or dominated in a fight outside the Amanda Nunes fight. Like, that's one thing that people seem to forget, is that even though she's lost quite a few fights, she's only lost to champions, former or current champions. So lost to Valentina, lost to Jermaine, lost to Amanda in the UFC. And 3 of those women struggled with Juliana Pena. Like, Juliana held her own. She was neck and neck with them until she got caught in a submission. And Amanda Nunes beat her easily in the rematch because that's just Amanda Nunes being that good. And I don't think flyweight Blanchfield is Amanda Nunes level good. I just can't see her completely shutting Juliana Pena out like that on the feet. I mean, I don't see her shutting her out in a fight like that. That's what I meant to say, not on the feet. But yeah, on the feet, she won't shut Pena out. I think Pena can take her on this in the stand up. I think Pena can hold her own in the grappling, gain dominant positions of her own. I think Juliana's tougher than Erin, bigger than her. Her gas tank is better than her. She could probably out cardio Erin Blanchfield and just dominate as the fight goes on. So we'll see. But I'd like to see Erin prove that she's this world beater in her own weight class before we can start talking about her moving up and taking over the 135 division, because she can't and she won't. So, yep, it is. She's going to fight again in September in Paris. Yep, that's what she's aiming for. Mana had a small injury. She could have returned. She was quiet until Grasso won the belt. I mean, isn't that how it is, though? Like, when a dominant champion is on top with the belt, everyone's quiet. No one wants that smoke. The moment they lose, everyone's making noise. I mean, that's how it is now that Amanda's gone. So, Pena is way too sloppy of a striker. I mean, that may be true, but Erin Blanchfield isn't like a Muhammad Ali on the feet herself, so her striking isn't really overly great. So, I mean, what is she gonna do on the feet that like is gonna be so bad for Pena? She can't hurt Pena with any of her strikes. Pena can walk through her punches, and Pena, with her sloppy style, can just go out there and outbrawl Erin Blanchfield on the feet. And she can overwhelm Erin Blanchfield on the feet as well. We didn't hear from Stipe until Francis left the UFC. Yeah, isn't that funny though? And same thing with Jon Jones too. Like Jon Jones did not want to come back until Ngannou left the UFC. Then he's like, okay, I'm back. I'm fighting Gon. And then Stipe's like, yeah, I'm back now. Now I want a title shot. Where was all this noise, boys, when Ngannou was on top and was a champion? And Jon Jones could beat Francis Ngannou. I mean, that's a bad matchup, but that's a fight that Jones could have potentially won. And it sucks that Jon Jones just completely fumbled that. Or no, it sucks that that matchup on both sides has been completely fumbled because Jon Jones could have came back in 2021. He already put on the size. You know, Jon didn't need another 2 years. In 2021, he was already the same size and frame that he is today. So he could have took the Francis fight the end of 2021, the beginning of 2022, and he could have been fortunate enough to fight No Knees Francis, and he would have definitely beat No Knees Francis Ngannou in 2022 at UFC 270, but he didn't want that fight. He wanted to further delay it. And then Francis Ngannou couldn't come to terms with the UFC. And now he's got up on out of there. Now he's in the PFL. And now Jon and Ngannou, they do this like pointless face off to a fight that's never going to even happen now. Erin's striking looked pretty good against Jessica. Yeah, it did. It did look good against Andrade, to be fair. Um, but I think against Juliana Pena, I don't think it will look as good. I don't think it will look as good. I think the stand up between Pena and Erin will be even, but I think output wise and damage wise, I think Pena is going to edge that on the feet. Erin is just too clean of a striker for Pena. She's like a women's MMA version of Ilia Topuria. She could drop and sub Pena. Oh, stop. Stop, man. Erin Blanchfield has no power. Who is she KO'd? Who has this girl dropped in her UFC career? Come on now. Come on. The only person to drop Juliana Pena is Amanda Nunes in the UFC. Before that, no one's been able to knock down Pena. Like Erin Blanchfield got a head kick KO over a can, like how long ago? Over Victoria Leonardo. Juliana Pena is 10 times the caliber of her. And that's like her only stoppage via knockout in her career. And Jessica Andrade, I mean, had a pretty good chin. I don't know about that now, but Erin Blanchfield couldn't stop her via strikes. And you mean to tell me that Pena, who's known for durability, is getting dropped by Blanchfield, bro? Get out of here. The only people that I think could actually finish Juliana Pena or drop her on the feet is Irene Aldana. Because, yeah, Pena does get reckless. She could probably run into something. Aldana would probably drop her. And Amanda Nunes, if they had the trilogy. My prediction was Nunes to win that fight by third round TKO, which probably was going to happen. Glad the fight didn't happen. But nah, Erin ain't doing shit to her on the feet as far as dropping her. Erin's best hope is to catch Juliana Pena in an early submission because I think the longer that fight goes and it's a 5-rounder, I think the better it is for Juliana Pena. Because I just think Pena's got more of a dog in her than Erin Blanchfield, and her gas tank is better. And again, Pena just gets better as the fight progresses. And we've never really seen Erin have to go a long 5 rounds. I mean, a lot of her fights are quick. I'm not saying her cardio is bad, but Juliana Pena is going to test that cardio with the pace that she's going to push. Like, that's one thing about Pena that no one seems to credit her for. They all talk about how sloppy her striking is. That is true, but she makes up for her sloppiness with her insane output. She's relentless. She keeps coming, and she's good at staying in the fight and finding her way back in the fight and getting like a comeback finish or a comeback win. That's how a lot of her fights go. And even though a lot of people see the first Amanda Nunes fight as like a fluke, say what you want about the first fight, can't argue against that now because the rematch happened the way it did. That was the most Pena style of win for Pena to win that fight against Nunes. To lose the first round, survive the first round, rally, melt her opponent, and then get a finish. That's how Pena wins a lot of her fights. And I reckon that's how she could beat Erin. And I don't give a crap if that was Amanda on her worst night. Do you really think there's a single universe where Erin Blanchfield could go out there and do what Pena did to Amanda Nunes? Even Nunes on her worst night puts Erin Blanchfield in a coffin. If Erin Blanchfield fought Amanda Nunes at UFC 269, they were on the same card, that version of Amanda Nunes would put Erin Blanchfield to sleep, and she couldn't put Juliana Pena to sleep. John Jones would take Francis down and smash him with elbows. What's up, DJ? I love you. I appreciate the love, my brother. Macing Herring. Likewise. Thanks for the support on my channel. I see you in the comment sections all the time. And yeah, as far as Jones versus Ngannou, I mean, would he take down and elbow him? I mean, like in the early rounds, he probably wouldn't be able to get Ngannou down. Ngannou's very strong. His takedown defense is very good. But I think John Jones could like survive the early rounds, stay behind his oblique kicks to the knees, stick and move, and then use the clinch to kind of wear Ngannou down. And I think as the fight goes longer, I think John Jones can then start working his grappling. And honestly, I think John Jones, if he beats Ngannou, I feel like it would be a rear naked choke submission. I don't think it'd be ground and pound. I think he'd sub Francis Ngannou. That's the thing, bro. Erin would murder Pena. Murder. LOL. Pena can't beat anyone currently ranked. That's funny. No, bro, you're just factually wrong. Erin beats her 100%. I'm all honesty, I love you, DJ, bro, but you're biased as fuck towards Pena and Aldana. Nah, man, I'm objective as it gets. I'm objective as it gets. I don't think me saying that Pena could beat a flyweight is biased. I really don't think so. I mean, I may be biased, but when Juliana Pena and Irene Aldana both fought on Fight Island 3 years ago, guess who I picked to win? I mean, I could show proof, but my old channel is gone because it got taken down for copyright, unfortunately. So, but on my old channel, if it was still there, you would see both my picks was Jermaine Duran and me and Holly Holm. And I wanted Aldana to win. I wanted Juliana. Actually, no, that one I was more torn. But I became an even bigger Pena fan after that fight. But yeah, I picked against both of them. And before the trilogy got canceled, I had Pena losing the trilogy with Amanda Nunes. Now, I will admit, though, my bias did get me with Irene Aldana in the Amanda Nunes fight. Because initially I was saying that this whole time that Amanda would win. But then, you know, seeing all these Mexicans win belts and seeing Grasso prove me right with beating Valentina, becoming a champion, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If Grasso can do it, why should I doubt Irene Aldana? And yeah, didn't work in my favor, man. I should have stuck with my Nunes pick, but it is what it is. Irene and Pena both got 50-43. Yeah, but 50-40. I mean, Aldana got 50-45 by Holly and 50-44 by Amanda Nunes. not really bad opponents to get swept on the scorecards by. And yeah, I mean, Amanda Nunes, yeah, she dominated both Pena and Aldana on the cards because that's Amanda Nunes, man. That's how good Amanda Nunes is. And like I said, no one's ever truly been able to shut Juliana Pena out like that in a fight. Like if let's say Valentina didn't get that submission against Juliana Pena, what I think would have happened is probably the fight was going to go to a decision, and it probably would have ended a split decision that could have gone either way. It could have swung the way of Juliana, or maybe Valentina could have edged the decision against Pena, but it would have been a really close fight. If Pena survived round 3 against Germaine de Randamie, it would have ended in a close decision. And if Pena would have lost to both, it would have been a close decision, right? She would have lost close decisions to two really high caliber fighters. But she didn't lose no close decision to Amanda Nunes, because when Amanda's in there with you, she don't give you no close second unless you're Valentina Shevchenko in her prime. Erin has a billion times more skill and ability than Pena. Pena is all heart, no skill. That's crazy. Erin is so talented and elite. Size won't mean anything at all. I mean, they have weight classes for a reason. And if Erin was all of that, I mean, she is all that. Don't get me wrong, but why? How come she started her career at flyweight? If she could take over the bantamweight division, why is she not competing in the bantamweight division right now? Why? Why? Why is she in a flyweight? Why? That's you got to answer that question for me, bro. I am a 30-4 kickboxer. I know fighting. Pena cannot do anything to Blanchfield. Not at all. Nah, that means nothing. That means nothing, bro. I mean, I respect what you've done, I guess, as a fighter and what you've accomplished, but nah. Nunes' technique is awful. Irene would have smashed her if she just didn't freeze. Yeah, I mean, that's frustrating, man. I do wish Aldana could have been more aggressive. It's annoying, too, because I picked Irene Aldana to win. And I really wanted to see Aldana become champion, and now she's got to start over. But who knows? We'll see. There's always a next time, and I mean, this is a good learning experience for Irene Aldana. A lot of good fighters, man. Sometimes they have that one fight where it's like they just don't show up. Like Francis Ngannou had that against Lewis. Nami Yunez had that against Carla. It happens to the best of them, and unfortunately, it had to happen to Irene at like the worst possible time. Irene needs to take some time and think about why she froze. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I do think she's going to take some time off. Maybe not too much time. I want to see Aldana back like by the end of the year. But who knows? She'll probably like come back maybe early next year potentially. But who should Aldana fight next? Who should she fight next? Should she fight the winner of Pani versus Ketlin? Should she welcome Germaine de Randamie back? I don't want to see that fight because I think Aldana might lose that, and I'm not trying to see her go on a losing streak. It's like, who do you give Aldana? And I know the UFC, they're not going to be looking to do Irene any favors. They're going to give her the hardest matchups possible. Although I'm thinking, just give her Miesha Tate, man. I know it wouldn't be fair because Tate's like all washed up and she'd whoop Miesha's ass, but why not, man? Why not just retire Miesha Tate? Nunes' power is crazy, though. I'll give her that. Yeah, like Izzy versus Romero. The whole fight, bro, I was just hoping Irene slept her, but she did not. Yeah, same, man. That was annoying. Like watching that fight, like I was hoping that Irene would have like a Leon Edwards comeback. And when they were in the fifth round, I was like, okay, fifth round, come on, Aldana, give it all you got. But no, Amanda Nunes just had to lay on prey on her, and Irene just didn't get that split second chance. But what I was actually hoping for in that fight was that Amanda would gas out. But at that pace, there is no way Nunes was going to slow down. So Yeah. Aldana should have pushed a harder pace against Amanda Nunes. Because even though we can knock on Pena all we want, Pena will go out there and take chances. And like in that first fight, one of the reasons why Nunes got tired, partially, yeah, she was recovering from COVID. I get that. But also, Juliana Pena was not laid back. Like, Juliana Pena got in her face. Juliana Pena went out there and did not let Nunes rest or recover or catch her second win. And I think that's kind of how you need to fight Amanda Nunes. You got to press Amanda Nunes. You got to be smart when doing it because Nunes can catch you coming in, but you got to make it a fight when you're fighting Amanda because just sitting back, Amanda's just going to get comfortable and she can just fight like that all 5 rounds. So, as much as we knock on Pena, Pena will actually take initiative against Nunes and she'll at least try to make Nunes tired. Although it did not work out in the second fight, and I don't think it would have in the trilogy. You're my favorite channel, and I woke up, smoked a joint today to binge and watch your videos. I appreciate that, man. The reason Pena beat Nunes was because she outgritted her. Yeah, exactly. 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 Keep making videos, bro. Of course, man. Of course. I'm gonna keep pumping out content for you guys. Like I've been super active. Like I'm like posting videos every 5 seconds, every single day because I want to give my viewers something to enjoy. I know like a lot of MMA YouTubers, they will like take time off. They'll like post once every 2 weeks, but a guy like myself, I'm young. I have like a lot of time on my hands. I'm currently like unemployed. I'm trying to get employed, but yeah, I'm not in school right now, so I got a lot of time on my hands, and I have a lot of time to make all the content I want. So I hope y'all are satisfied. I really do. Tate versus Aldana UFC main event in the Apex. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. Make that like a fight night main event. I know fans will complain, but I don't think that will go all 5 rounds anyway. I think Aldana would like finish Misha Tate. I think she'd batter Misha Tate and probably get a finish in like the second round. I mean, if it's like Misha in her prime, the fight's probably a different fight. But right now, Misha Tate, she's old. She's been getting her ass beat back to back, and Aldana is a lot better than what she showed. I think Aldana is in her prime right now. Misha isn't, and I think Aldana would kick her ass. And Aldana's grappling is decent too. Her takedown defense is good. Uh, I don't know if Misha, I don't know if Misha Tate could take her down frequently enough, and that she did. I don't think she could hold Aldana down. I think Aldana would just get right back up and force a striking match and destroy her on the feet and probably get a TKO. Because Grasso won, I thought for sure Irene was gonna Leon Usman her. Yeah, me that would have been so perfect, man. Like imagine like a Rocky story where like Aldana's down in the cards and then like she just comes back and gets a KO. That would have been so epic. And like I remember during that fight, like I was like Instagram DMing like some friends in like a group chat. And one guy said, I'm getting Leon Usman vibes from this. And when they were like in the fourth round, like, okay, let's see if Aldana can knock her out late. But no, Amanda Nunes just had to survive all 5 rounds, man. I own a business. I could give you a job if you want in South Florida. I live in Naples. I don't know if that will work, man. I'm in Canada, so. Oh yeah, Aldana will kill her next opponent because she'll be pissed. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be like the Holly fight where like she bounced from losing to Holly Holm to then like destroying her next opponent in the first round. If she fights Misha Tate, I guarantee it's gonna end like the Yana Kunitskaya fight, but it'll probably like go like more than 1 round. You in Canada? Fuck, haha. Yeah, like Gain, Tuivasa after Gain lost to Francis, robbery by the way, Gain should have won. He murdered Ty, because Gain blew his last title shot. Yeah, I think the same thing will happen with Irene Aldana for sure, but I hope she doesn't like end it like Gain, where it's like he came back, got a win, and then got another title shot, and then blew it again. Like, that would suck. Speaking of Gain, do you think he gets past Spivak? Because he's fighting him in Paris. That's apparently the next fight. I see a lot of people picking Spivak because now there's like this notion that Gain can't grapple. And I get why people are saying that. They're saying that because of the Jones fight, because John Jones smoked him in a minute. Ngannou with no knees wrestle fucked him for like 5 rounds. So I mean that's like totally understandable. But this is Spivak we're talking here. I don't think Spivak is on the level of a Francis Ngannou, and he's definitely not a John Bones Jones, man. I think Jones is just the GOAT, man. I don't know if Spivak is doing that to Cyril Gane, but it would probably serve Cyril well to leave the MMA factory in Paris. But I'm gonna try to trust Gane to win against the polar bear Spivak. Yeah, bro, Gane gonna get smashed again. He can't wrestle. Man, if Gane loses again, that's gonna be sad, bro. Like he was seen as like the next big thing, the best striker in the heavyweight division, which I say he is the best striker in that division. But to fall from grace like that, losing to Ngannou and then losing to Jones and losing to Spivak, yeah, he just might be done if that's the case. Um, John Jones is the greatest of all time. So hard to be mad at Gane for losing to the best ever, but I don't know, man. Gane really needs to have better takedown defense. He needs to leave Ferdinand Lopez. He needs to switch gyms, man. Like I feel like his loyalty to that camp is gonna be his downfall, man. Like he needs to leave. He needs to leave. He might want to go to Eric Nixick's gym because that camp helped Ngannou improve his wrestling. If Gane can make that transition, his wrestling could be fixed. Yeah, maybe Gane should go to like American Top Team or something in Florida. Like he needs to just go out there and like explore his options. I like Gane though because I'm a striker. Yes, he is the best kickboxer in heavyweight. Such a crucial fight for Gane. Gane needs to leave Francis, or Gane needs to leave. France gonna cost him millions. Totally. Since you're like a kickboxer, do you like have like a Tapology or something? His loyalty is going to cost him so much money. Yeah, and I think loyalty to camps can be any fighter's downfall because I know there's a lot of drama sometimes that goes behind fighters leaving camps. Like you see a fighter switching gyms, and then you got teammates from that gym complaining, like Team Alpha Male. They did not like it when Dillashaw left Team Alpha Male to better himself. They did not like it. They were upset with Dillashaw. They painted him out to be the bad guy, but that was the best thing ever for TJ Dillashaw. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes fighters just need to do that. They need to explore their options. That's the only way you're going to grow as a fighter. And if a certain gym isn't doing it for you, then sometimes you got to make that tough choice. Nah, bro, I'm just on the local level, not good enough to be in the big leagues. Plus, I own a business and I live in Annapolis, Florida, which is the richest city in the world. I have too much to live for to do. All right, fair enough. Keep fighting, not worth it. It's brutal, man. Fighting is not a game combat sport. It's brutal. It hurts so much. I quit. Yeah, that's understandable. I know, like fighting there's a lot of injuries that happen when in training. You always have to you got to make weight for wrestling too, but yeah, you got to make weight for that. It's tough. And then when you're in there fighting, you also take damage and you're putting your health on the line, whereas like a regular sport, it's more peaceful. All right, let's hear the story. Yeah, thanks for the offer, but right now I can't move out. Like I'm gonna keep searching. I'm gonna keep job searching for this summer. But yeah, no, I'm staying. I'm gonna stay in Canada right now for the time being. But appreciate that. But let's hear the story though. I respect Alexa and Irene because I know how hard it is to fight. Yeah, and I mean Irene's story is interesting. Like she basically got into fighting through like late. I mean, she started MMA in college. Like she just started as a college student, and then she just got into MMA just to get fit, and then it became a passion for her. And now she's like actively competing as like a full on mixed martial artist. I got a oblique kicked in my knee once, and I had to retire because my knee is fucked for life and I can't bend at all. Think about that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That your career might be is ruined because of that. Yeah, those kicks are so controversial because oblique kicks are so effective, but I don't like them. I like them, but I don't at the same time. I hate to hear that a guy like you had your career ruined from an oblique kick. You can't bend your knee. And it's ruined a lot of fighters. Like I think that might have ruined Darren Till. Robert Whitaker destroyed his knees. Since then, Till hasn't been the same. John Jones destroyed a lot of guys' knees with that. Maybe oblique kicks should be banned, honestly. I mean, they're good for keeping distance, but they can be damaging, man, and life changing. Alexa Grasso and Irene have been fighting for a long time. Yeah, they've both been fighting since like 2012. Um, Now, both came from boxing, right? Didn't Aldana start as a boxer before she got into MMA? Exactly, bro. John Jones has hurt people so bad. I think they should be banned. Someone stomped on both my knees. It hurt worse more than anything in the world. Damn, man. Yeah, that's. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's terrible. They've been putting in work, man. Alexa scratched her way to the top. Man, you know what sucks? It sucks that Alexa Grasso and Irene Aldana both couldn't become champs together. That's really sad. Like, there's a picture on Instagram of both them holding Alexa's belt, but imagine if Aldana won. It could have been both of them together with their own belts, but who knows? Maybe next year Irene Aldana will get the belt. I pray it happens. And even if by then Alexa isn't the champion, usually former champions still got like a replica of their belt. So it's possible that Alexa will still have her belt at home and her and Aldana can still pose with pictures with the belt. I hope that can happen. I really hope so. I really want to see Aldana fulfill her coach's promise because Grasso did. I wanted Irene to win so bad. Oh, me too. You have no idea, man. As a massive Aldana fan, her becoming the champion, honestly, I wanted this more than I wanted Grasso to become champion. Like, this is what I've been waiting for so long. It's meant so much. I've been like an Irene Aldana fan since 2019. I've been following her career for like 5 years. I've been saying for so long she's a future champion. I've been laughed at. I've been doubted when predicting it. And to see it not come true on her first attempt is really heartbreaking. And then also having the uncertainty of, wow, is this never going to happen now? It might, but what if it doesn't? Like that possibility, like it hurts. I just want her to do the same thing Nunes did, or I want her to see. I want her to do the same thing to Nunes that she did to Ketlin. Me too. Me too. But Ketlin was fighting emotional against Irene. Yeah, and I wish Amanda Nunes fought emotional. But you know what actually pisses me off? So in the third round, when Amanda Nunes, after that initial grappling exchange, she got up, she was a little bit tired. That was Aldana's chance to capitalize. And then she allowed Amanda Nunes to bang her ass up with elbows. Amanda got at her, started being aggressive. That was Irene's chance to be like to fight back. And I was like yelling. I was yelling at the screen in the bar, like, hit her back, counter her. What are you doing? And Aldana just stood there and just took a beating from Amanda Nunes when that was her chance to counter Amanda in a firefight. But yeah, that Vieira KO was brutal. Like, I did not see that coming. I didn't really know Aldana to be a finisher like that because I didn't have any knowledge about her Invicta career, her pre-UFC career. So I didn't think she'd beat Vieira, let alone knock her out. And that shocked me. Like, I couldn't even react because I was just so stunned. Like, I'm like, did she just knock out Ketlin Vieira like that? I'm like, did that just happen? Did Aldana just put Ketlin to sleep? And that's when I became an even bigger fan of Irene Aldana when that happened. And that's when I called her a future champion. Bro, I cry because my knees, no joke. Only time I cry because of an injury. It hurt so bad. Still to this day, they still hurt. It's too bad. Wow, that's terrible. Aldana versus Chasson was an insane KO. Yeah, it was. It was a crazy knockout. It was. I mean, who has ever got a liver kick finish from their back? That was crazy. And I remember thinking in that third round, like, fuck, Aldana's going to get laid on to a decision loss. And I see Macy on the floor. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I saw the replay. I'm like, oh, great, a liver kick. But it sucks that Macy Chasson cheated her way out of being armbarred in the first round because I wish Aldana got that first round finish so that I wouldn't have to hear people bitch about how she was losing that fight and now she has no chance against Amanda and isn't elite because Macy was winning against her. That annoys me. Fighting is not a joke, man. Exactly, man. I thought Aldana was going to get smothered. The worst beating in women's MMA was Rocky versus Nunes or Nunes versus Pena, too. Oh, yeah. Those two fights and Jessica Andrade versus Claudia Gadelha. Now, that was a brutal beatdown. That was brutal. Like, that was as brutal could get. Yeah, I'm glad Aldana got the finish, man, because she's the better fighter than Macy Chasson. Even if she had lost that fight that night, I think they fight 9 out of 10 times Aldana wins that fight against Macy. There's just a lot that factored into that fight. The last minute weight change where Aldana was ready to weigh in at 134, but last minute she was told they're going to do a catch weight. She had to stop cutting. They did a catch weight. Chasson was way bigger than Irene Aldana in that fight. And also, Macy Chasson fake tapped. The ref didn't see it or jump on it, so she got away with it. And then it's like Irene Aldana lost momentum. Probably had like a bit of an adrenaline dump in the second round after having a perfect first round, which led to round two going as it did. So, but I think they fight. If they fight again, I think Aldana wins a lot easier than the first time. I just think Macy had. I think Macy had the perfect performance, and a lot of factors were to her advantage that helped her almost win. But close, no cigar. Really, you said Andrade versus Gadelha. I'm surprised you've never seen that fight. That was a beating, bro. Like Claudia Gadelha won the first round, got slammed a couple of times, and then round two, Claudia Gadelha just gassed the fuck out. I think she went for a guillotine that she couldn't get, and then she burnt her arms out, and Andrade beat the dog piss out of Claudia Gadelha. Like, she was bloodied and battered, man. That was bad. That's the fight that changed Claudia Gadelha. Like, that fight is the reason why Claudia Gadelha fell off and was never the same. Like, Claudia went from being the second best strawweight in the division to Joanna to them being like bottom tier to that division. You know what I'm saying? She went from A tier to B tier after that fight with Andrade. Only one fight matters. Doesn't matter who would win blank out of 10 times. To an extent. But on paper, you can't look at me with a straight face and say Macy Chiasson is the better fighter. Andrade is a scary woman. Yeah, especially in her prime, man. Right now, Andrade is on a bit of a downslope. Like, it's going to be interesting to see like how she bounces back from that loss, those two losses to Erin and Yan Xiaonan. But I think it's honestly better for the division if Tatiana wins, and I'm rooting for Tatiana because I'm a big fan. Andrade versus Murphy was a beating as well, broski. Yeah, and that was like the last like best performance of Jessica's career. And then out of nowhere, she had a random fall from grace. But I mean, you got to factor in who she's fighting. You know, she's been given some really tough opponents like Erin Blanchfield. She's basically the future of the women's flyweight division. So it's no surprise that Andrade got smoked in that fight. Although it is kind of a surprise because looking at the styles, I thought, damn, Andrade is a good grappler as well. She's physical, hard to take down and control. And she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so Erin probably wouldn't submit her on the ground. It'll probably come down to striking, and Andrade might overwhelm her with power. But no, Erin Blanchfield dominated the fight. And then Yan Xiaonan, again, Yan Xiaonan is a prospect of that division. Even though she's even though she's lost to Carla, she has gotten better since that fight. And she's just got momentum right now. And stylistically, Jessica has always struggled with really good strikers. So honestly, yeah, the fact that she's, losing to who she's losing to, it's no shame and it's no surprise. Although it is still a surprise that she got knocked out by Xiaonan. I did not see that coming. Like, I thought if Xiaonan would win, it'd be by decision. But if she can bounce back with a win over Tatiana Suarez, that's going to be huge for her career. But I really hope not, because this division does not need Jessica Andrade as a top contender anymore, because we already saw what Zhang Weili did to her, and I don't want to see that rematch. I don't want to see Jessica fight for the title again unless Amanda Lemos is the champion, because she smoked Amanda in the first round with that unique standing arm triangle. Alexa was losing to Valentina until the finish. One can say Valentina would beat Alexa 9 out of 10 times. Does it matter? Yeah, but that logic applies to Chiasson versus Aldana, because Aldana was losing until she wasn't. And I'm picking Alexa Grasso to win the rematch with Valentina Shevchenko. I'm picking her to win. So yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, but no, my counter argument to that is, so yes, Irene Aldana was losing that fight. Alexa was losing that fight. But the thing is, there's a lot that factored into that fight and why it went the way it did. And Macy Chiasson had a big opportunity and she just had the perfect performance, but that doesn't necessarily make her the better fighter than Irene Aldana, is what I'm trying to get at. And I think if they were to run it back, I could see Aldana now having more knowledge about Macy, and I don't know, she learned more about her. And I just think the mistakes that she made in that last fight, I don't see her making them again. And I think she could have a cleaner performance in a rematch, is all I'm saying. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Alexa Grasso. I think her and Valentina too is going to be a close fight. It won't be a complete shutout, but I do think that going forward, Alexa Grasso will have probably better takedown defense. I think it's going to be like the transition between Usman Edwards 2 and Usman Edwards 3, where it's like Leon Edwards was losing with the wrestling until the last round, and then in the trilogy, he showed better takedown defense. I think this time Alexa shows better takedown defense and wins sort of like a close striking match and wins maybe like 48-47. Bro, even what I'm saying is that even if Valentina would win 9 out of 10 times, does it matter? Alexa won the one fight they've had against each other. You're not getting what I'm saying, though. You're not getting what I'm saying. And Brian, you know for a fact Irene Aldana is a better fighter than Macy Chasson. Do you really think Macy's better than her just because she was winning the fight? I don't know who wins Grasso versus Val 2. Yeah, I mean, Valentina Shevchenko, all bias aside, could definitely win that fight. It is definitely a hard fight for Alexa Grasso. But I'm going to predict Alexa wins a decision. I don't see her finishing Valentina with the hands or like Valentina being caught like that in another submission. I think Valentina is going to be a lot more careful this time. She's going to watch that spinning stuff, but I think Alexa Grasso is going to be, like I said earlier, I think she's going to be a lot more prepared for the wrestling of Valentina. And I think what threw Alexa off is Valentina doesn't typically shoot like a traditional wrestler. Valentina looks for takedowns from body lock trips or judo throws. And I think that's what she was preparing for. I don't think she was ready for Valentina to go for doubles and singles. But now I think in a trilogy, I think Alexa's gonna be more prepared for that and start working on like her sprawls next time going forward. So I don't think we're gonna see as much grappling in this fight as we saw in the first fight. And we know Alexa Grasso can take her on the feet. Like no one else can really beat Valentina in the stand-up. Like even Amanda Nunes had a hard time on the feet with Valentina. Like Alexa Grasso beat Valentina on the feet better than anyone else has throughout her career. Like most people need grappling to beat Shevchenko, but Alexa Grasso doesn't. Alexa Grasso just needs to not be grappled. And I think she can win a striking match with Valentina. I think she's faster than Valentina at this point. I think she's more fluid with her hands. And she's got better combinations than Valentina Shevchenko as well. I think Valentina on the feet mainly has the edge with her kicks, but her kicks didn't really seem to do much to Alexa Grasso. And Alexa Grasso was applying a lot of pressure in that fight as well. Like she was able to walk Valentina down because Valentina doesn't really have enough power to keep Alexa off of her. So yeah, I think it's going to come down to the stand-up, and I'm going to say Alexa Grasso wins a close decision. I won't be surprised if Valentina does win. Like a former champ of her caliber is very capable of making the adjustments needed to get her belt back, but I just think her time is kind of done. And I think this division is just getting better, and these girls are figuring Alexa or Valentina out. We've seen this with the Santos fight. She struggled with Talia. I think Erin could beat her. And I just think it's Alexa's time, man. I think Valentina had her time. Like, even if Valentina gets the belt back, she's not going to hold it much longer. Like, she's going to lose her first defense after that to, like, Erin or something. But I just think that Alexa, she's got youth on her side. And I feel like at this stage in her career, she's progressing more than Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina isn't really making much improvements. She's just kind of set in her ways and what she's already good at. And what she already does best, Alexa Grasso already knows. I think she's going to be more adapted to what Valentina does best. Whereas I don't know if Valentina is going to adapt as well next time, but we'll see. Dude, that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying it doesn't matter because when they fought, Irene won and Alexa won. However, because of how the fights were going, it's hard to say that Irene is definitely. Yeah, but just knowing the fighter Irene Aldana is, and that she's a top fighter in the division, and that Macy Chasson really isn't on that level, I don't see Aldana losing a rematch to Macy Chasson. You know what I'm saying? Again, Macy had a good performance, and she had that factor to her advantage that they had a last minute catch weight bout that threw Irene Aldana off. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, she cheated in that first round. She should have got submitted in the first round. She should have been submitted in the first round. But I think if they were like to run it back again, I don't see Macy having the same success with her wrestling like she did in the first fight, same way as I don't see Valentina having that success with her wrestling again. And she's not better on the feet than Irene Aldana. Her best hope to beat Aldana in any probable outcome is if she can just take her down and keep her down. But it doesn't matter. This is pointless. This is a pointless debate because they're never going to fight again. It's irrelevant. Grasso has excellent boxing. Yeah, and I don't know if Valentina Shevchenko is really going to have an answer for that. And another reason why Valentina may just lose this fight is because of how she's handling the loss. She's not giving Valentina any credit, you know. She's basically saying that she dominated the whole fight, which we all know that's not true. She was winning the fight 2 rounds to 1, but it's like she's ignoring the fact that Alexa outboxed her in the first round. Yes, she got those takedowns in rounds 2 and 3. She didn't really do any damage with those takedowns, you know? And the reason why she even approached the fight as a wrestler is because she could not deal with the boxing of Alexa Grasso. But going forward, like, if she's unable to find that same success with the wrestling, this is my concern for Valentina. If she cannot find the same success with the approach she had in the first fight, how is she going to win? Because she's saying that Alexa is a chance fighter, and without her getting lucky, where's the victory? Well, where's the victory without being able to take down Alexa and hold her down? Like, Alexa has not, or Valentina has not addressed the boxing of Alexa Grasso. Like, I think what she needs to do is she needs to bring in some really high level boxers into camp for this rematch. She needs to look at the success that Alexa had in that fight. She's got to stop focusing on how she was winning the fight. She has to see what Alexa Grasso did well, and she has to figure out how to negate the boxing of Alexa. She's got to figure that out. Because if she just goes forward thinking all I need to do is just fight her the same way as I did last time, it's just not going to end good for her. That's all I'm saying. Alexa isn't faster than Valentina. She's faster than Val anticipated, but Val had the speed advantage. The difference was Alexa has great timing. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like, and even if she's not faster, her speed is fast enough to keep up with Valentina. Like, you got to admit that. Like, her speed is fast enough to give her the success she needs in the stand-up against Valentina Shevchenko. And yeah, she's got like insane timing on her combinations. I love your profile picture. I love your profile picture of Grasso catching her. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's like one of my favorite pictures, man. Seeing Alexa Grasso land that clean straight down the pipe. Irene is good. Hope she becomes champ. DJ gonna shit his little pants if that happens. Haha. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go cray cray. I'm gonna celebrate if that happens. He gonna flip out if Irene ever gets that title. Facts, man. Facts on facts. If I cried at happiness, if I cried at happiness at Grasso winning the belts, you best believe I'm gonna have that same reaction to Aldana winning that title. Aldana versus Pena. Yeah. I mean, the question is that fight even gonna happen? It won't be the next fight for the belt. But down the line, will we see Aldana versus Pena? I don't know. That fight should have happened this year. Juliana Pena was offered Irene Aldana for UFC San Antonio, but she turned it down in hopes of getting the trilogy with Nunes. So then the UFC tried making Pena or Pennington versus Aldana for that card, but they decided, nah, we don't want to make that fight. And then instead we got Sanhagen versus Cheeto as a headliner. But then they tried to remake Pennington versus Aldana, which never happened. But I think Pennington and Irene are going to see each other again down the line. I think when Irene Aldana works her way back up the rankings, I think it's inevitable that her and Pennington are going to cross paths. And I think she'll beat Raquel if they fight again. And she'll actually be able to add that to her resume, and avenge a loss, and people will finally stop, clowning Irene as the girl who lost to Raquel. Pena versus Raquel next. Yeah, that fight's definitely going to happen, 100%. I don't think they're going to make Macy Chasson versus Julia. Or sorry, I meant to say Erin Blanchfield. They're not going to make Erin Blanchfield versus Juliana Pena. Erin's going to get the Manon Fiorot fight at flyweight. And I think that Raquel is going to get the title shot. She deserves it. 5-fight win streak, number 2 in the division. The fight makes sense. Number 2 versus number 1. And yeah. Chasson versus Aldana too. Yeah, it's not happening. Valentina was jabbing the shit out of Alexa. Please don't think I'm shading Alexa. Alexa fought a great game plan, but Valentina adjusted. I still think Alexa can win the rematch, but I think it's going to be harder. I mean, how much harder can the fight get? The first fight was already difficult for Alexa Grasso. So I am expecting a tough fight because it's Valentina, but I'm expecting Alexa to excel in a tough fight. That's my prediction. It's going to be like Rose versus Whaley 2, Rose versus Joanna 2, a close rematch that they're going to edge to the champion. And some people might say that they thought Valentina won. And I got to watch that fight again. I don't remember the jabs really doing much to Alexa Grasso. Like, Alexa was winning for the most part whenever they were on the feet. But Valentina had her number in the grappling. Alexa had her number on the feet. That's what I saw. Valentina is hot in a scary way. Haha. Yeah, I agree. She can kick you in the head. Irene is what DJ video gonna say after the pay-per-view? Tina versus I was the most brutal knockout head kick ever in women's MMA history. Yeah, that was bad. The way she flattened Jessica I, like, that's a KO that's forever gonna, like, that. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, that's like an iconic KO that's like always gonna be remembered till like the end of time. That's like always gonna be replayed in the highlight reels like for decades to come. Like 2030, that highlight's gonna be showed and still replayed and talked about when Valentina is long retired. I don't know. Home versus Rousey was brutal. Pena will beat Aldana due to Pena's pressure. Maybe. But the thing about that is, I think that might actually be good for Irene, Juliana's pressure, because Irene does well when girls lead the dance. And I don't know if she would freeze up against Pena. Like, Pena would need to use the threat of her takedowns, and she'd need to really dominate the fight with her grappling, because the longer they're on the feet, I think Irene Aldana will just time a counter and could seriously hurt Juliana Pena. And honestly, Aldana has good enough takedown defense to stop the takedowns of Juliana. And if they're on the ground, I don't see Pena getting a finish. I think Aldana can survive on the ground and get back up. And it would mainly be striking, and I'd say that would favor Irene. But Pena could win, for sure. I wouldn't rule that possibility out, but I think stylistically it does favor Irene Aldana. I don't know, man. Irene's striking is levels above her. Yep, I agree. No, bro. Alexa won round one with striking, but round two and three and four were probably Val was edging it. Nah, I don't think so, man. I mean, the takedown threat did slow Alexa down. And I'm not saying the striking was a shutout, but there's a reason why Valentina had to mix it up and go for all those takedowns because that's where Alexa had the best chance to beat her. And yeah, when they were mainly standing in the fourth round, it was even on the feet, but that was mainly because Alexa was worried about the takedowns. But Valentina didn't really do much significant on the feet that showed, oh my gosh, she's winning the stand up against Alexa in round four. But you're right, it doesn't matter. Alexa Grasso made her tap. That's right. Aldana would beat Pena 100%. Whoever Irene fights next is fuck. Thank you, Mason. I totally agree. I totally agree. Irene Aldana will destroy her next opponent. And Irene Aldana, I do believe, does beat Juliana Pena. But either way, man, Brian, Alexa Grasso, she's going to be studying that fight hard and seeing what went wrong. She's going to assess all the success that Valentina had standing and on the ground. And it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments Valentina makes and what adjustments Grasso makes. And it's going to be interesting to see that whose adjustments are better. Irene will break her next opponent's face. Totally. Totally. Just like she did to Yana Kunitskaya. Words don't mean anything. Grasso strangled the fuck out of that bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna predict that Alexa Grasso wins a razor close decision against Valentina, and people will call it a robbery and say that she didn't win that fight, just like Rose Whaley too. Valentina will think that she won and won't handle a loss well, and then Alexa Grasso will probably lose her next fight after that, maybe against Talia or Erin. And then I think from there the belt's just gonna pass around. I don't really see there being a dominant champion, and then as far as Valentina's future, I really don't know what's going to happen with her. I don't know. I mean, Valentina, unlike Amanda, I feel like she's going to stick around this sport a lot longer. I feel like she's going to linger around in the flyweight top five and she'll just fight whoever, try to beat whoever to earn another title shot in the flyweight division. I mean, people are talking about her going to bantamweight, which could be the move, but I feel like Valentina, her only motivation to go up a division was the trilogy with Amanda Nunes, which is completely gone. So I don't know, and I don't know if Valentina is even going to retire on top. I don't think she will. I feel like Valentina. I originally said she doesn't strike me as someone who would fight past her prime, but Valentina's hungry, man. She might be stubborn. She might be too stubborn to quit the sport. She might fight for like another 4 years and stack up some L's. I hope I'm wrong though. Maybe Valentina will prove me wrong and be smart enough that if she never gets the belt back and starts taking losses, she'll start looking at other options other than fighting because she really has nothing left to accomplish at this point. You know, she's been a long time defending champion of 7 title defenses, 5 years. She's good. F Erin, she's trying to get the title shot at 135. She can kiss my ass. Yeah, yeah, Erin Blanchfield just needs to sit down and focus on her own weight class, man. Like seriously. And she turned down Valentina like an idiot. So she turned down the opportunity of a lifetime against the former champion. She could have really showed us how good she really is by taking the fight with Valentina. And if she could have beat Valentina, there's the fight with Grasso, and she might win that. Only women's fighters I like are Nunes. I really lost her last two. Valentina got robbed against Nunes. She won 4-1. I don't know about that. But Talis Santos versus Alexa Grasso. I hate to say it, but yeah, I gotta go with Santos on that one because we saw the game plan she implemented on Valentina and the success that she had for the first 3 rounds, and we saw Valentina do a similar thing to Alexa. And if Valentina, even though I don't think she'll be able to do that to Grasso again, it doesn't matter. She did that to her once. And if Valentina can do that to her, I think a better grappler like Santos could do that. And Santos is stronger than Valentina and Grasso, and she's a better grappler. She's big for the division. So I don't know if Alexa Grasso could avoid Santos getting a hold of her. If she gets taken down, she's not getting up. So yeah, that's not a good matchup for Alexa Grasso. Marina had potential. Yeah, but I think she was just too one-dimensional. That's the problem. Yeah, that was crazy. What she did to Marina was insane. And I picked Marina to win that fight. Imagine Amanda Lemos screaming punches you in the face in the apex. Was she screaming during that sequence? I don't remember. I don't remember that. But yeah, I think I also kind of feel like Valentina's defensive style might cost her in the rematch against Alexa Grasso. I think that's going to be one of her downfalls. I don't see her changing much. She will make adjustments. I'm not saying she won't. She's Valentina, but my prediction is Alexa will be able to defend enough takedowns. She'll still get taken down a few times, but not as much. And I think Alexa throughout the rounds is going to be aggressive. And because her boxing is good enough and her hands are fluid enough, I think she can get away with her aggression without, paying for it by getting countered badly. Like I don't think Valentina will be able to counter Grasso as severely as she's done to other fighters. So I think Alexa will be able to win through a bit of pressure and aggression, and Valentina kind of sitting back but not really getting off the best offense, in my opinion. But we'll see. I like Zhang Wei Li. Still hard to believe Rose kicked her in the head. I mean, I'd hope we see a more offensive Valentina Shevchenko, not just in grappling. I'd like to see her be aggressive in the striking too, because Valentina's been knocked on a lot for being very defensive, and I'd like to see her change that. Yeah, that was crazy when Rose knocked her out. I picked Rose to win that fight, but even I didn't expect her to win like that. Like that surprised me. I thought Rose would win by decision. But I think if they fight now, I'm gonna have to pick Whaley to win that one. Because Rose mentally isn't there anymore. She doesn't love the sport. She doesn't like fighting. And if she comes back, she probably isn't gonna be the same if her heart's not in it. Chev Grasso is a good fight. Yeah, for sure. People need to stop criticizing these fighters when they don't even fight at all, never made the walk. Exactly. That's what I'm saying about the Aldana Nunes fight. Like people are talking all this crap about how Aldana did this wrong, Aldana did that wrong, she fought scared. It's like yes, Aldana did screw up, but you got to take into account she was locked in there with Amanda Nunes, who hit so hard. And knowing who Amanda is, it's easy to kind of fall under that spell and freeze. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get locked in there with Amanda Nunes and try to go 5 rounds with her. Irene Aldana at least hung in there. She didn't get finished. It wasn't her best performance, but it is what it is. She's gonna learn. You live and you learn. You either win or you learn. And Irene Aldana learned. So Maria Rodriguez will make a comeback only if she evolves and opens up to learn new things other than just striking. Yeah, Coach Sheldon Harrison talked about that. How Coach Sheldon Harrison mentioned how Marina is not willing to listen to fans and not willing to make the changes necessary to evolve. Which, yeah, if that's true, that's going to be problematic for her. And also, Marina Rodriguez, I know I give Aldana a pass for being old, but yeah, Marina is old, man. She's old. If you watch the Nunes versus Aldana stare down, Irene thought she could beat Nunes, but then she got in. But then she got in there. Yeah, she looked confident and ready, but then like when she was in there, she just completely like shut down. What's y'all predictions? Speaking of women's MMA, what's y'all predictions for this weekend's fight between uh, Amanda Rebus and Macy Barber? Because right now I'm kind of undecided on that fight because I feel like Rebus is more skilled and more well-rounded, but she's kind of chinny. Barber's got power. Barber, even though even though Amanda's more well-rounded, Barber's got pretty good takedown defense. So I don't know if Amanda's going to take her down, and then on the feet she might be in danger. Barber for sure. Rebus has zero chin. Yeah, she's very chinny, man. That was that. Oh my god, man! When she lost to Marina, I was so mad. I mean, you don't see Marina finish girls like that. And I was annoyed with how she fought too, because she like grappled in like the first round, and then she tried to be a boxer in the second round and paid for it. Um, yeah, and then she also got dropped by Verna. But the interesting thing is, though, Marina Rodriguez, or sorry, not Marina, Amanda Rebus, she has some power of her own. Like I've seen her drop some girls too. Didn't she drop? Uh um Vivi Arujo? I'm pretty sure she dropped her. So there might be some danger on the feet for Barbara to worry about as well. I remember watching that on the Poirier McGregor card. Yep, me too. Whole family watched Rebus get KO'd. Both fighters are a threat to each other. Also, we can't say Rebus is chinny since she's at flyweight, but if Barber can make Rebus go backwards, then Barber might take it. Yeah, that's true. And Macy Barber is very aggressive as well. Marcus Bell, the legend. Yes. Yeah, I've seen Marcus around these comments, like on WMMA Addicts videos, Coach Sheldon Harrison's videos, and then who else? Combo Breaker 99, that guy. And now I've excelled myself in the mix with those few. Because I remember how I started off on YouTube, like on my old channel. I started off as, I mean, the reason why my YouTube channel's name is DJ is because originally I used to just post DJ videos, like videos of my DJ gigs. And I would just even just post random stuff. And then over time, I'm like, I actually started just posting like MMA highlights. I started posting like in 2018, 19, I went through this phase of like making these MMA highlight videos, MMA edits with like music in the background. And I just post them like highlight videos or promo videos. Um, but then like when I got into college, I was in like this broadcasting program, and in that program, like in that radio broadcasting program, you learn a lot on how to get your voice out there, right? And that kind of gave me confidence. That kind of gave me the idea to be like, you know what? Why don't I actually get my voice out there for once? And it all started with Zhang versus Joanna 1, like January 2020. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to take out voice memos and I'm going to talk for 11 minutes. And this was like literally like 2 hours before my class. One of my classes on like, I think it was like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. I can't necessarily remember. But it was like an hour before class, or no, 2 hours before class. I'm at home and I just go 11 minutes over. Whaley versus Joanna won. And like I remember being so nervous and awkward getting my voice out there for like the first time. But I got it done. It was a successful video. It got like over 1,000 views. And I accurately predicted that fight. I predicted Whaley to win. I mean, she won by decision. I predicted a finish, but my prediction was right. And then the day after that, I did a reaction video to the announcements of like Rose versus Andrade 2. And then since then, man, I just kept posting videos of me talking and getting my voice out there. And then I remember my mom was like, "Okay, your name is DJC. Why don't you add a different name?" And I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna call myself DJC Combat." And then from there, my channel just became a big hit, and I got like 1,000 subs. And then the sad story is 2022, the UFC took my channel down because my dumbass kept using content from the UFC, footage from the UFC, and I learned the hard way. So I lost my old channel and I started over, but you live and you learn. But I'm back, and I'm hoping to get back where I was on my initial channel. Bro, you the best in the game. Thank you. I appreciate it. How do you come up with all these videos? You're so talented. Grasso KO's Valentina, Zhang KO's or Zhang KO's Lemos. I guess that's what you meant. Pena gets subbed by Rocky. If Pena gets submitted by Raquel, I'm done with bantamweight, man. I'm actually done with the bantamweight division, bro. But man, if you guys were able to listen to my first prediction video, even though you won't find it now because it's gone with my old channel, like you would hear how nervous and awkward I sounded. I was so nervous, I was so awkward. Now, like fast forward 3 years later, 2023, we're June 2023. I'm so much more confident and fluid with my words now. I'm a lot better spoken than I was back then. I'm a lot less awkward than I was back then. Yeah, bro. Pena versus Rocky is up soon. I wonder when that fight's gonna happen. It'll probably be booked maybe like December, T-Mobile probably. Ribas doesn't have chin problems. She has defense problems. Her guard is wide open, and she likes to pull and counter. Yeah, that's definitely an issue, and I hope she doesn't run into that issue against Macy because we know how hard Macy can hit. Oh, I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was because of your comments about Rocky having dyke strength. I mean, she does have dyke strength, though. You can't deny that. No, I don't think Raquel knocks her out. Nah. If Pennington wins that fight against Pena, she'll probably just win by decision. I mean, God forbid Juliana gets submitted again. I'm sick of her being the laughing stock for being submitted by strikers, but Pennington does have good subs, but she's not knocking Juliana out. Like, unless Juliana Pena's chin is completely gone from that Nunes beatdown, there's no way Raquel is chinning her. But unfortunately, yes, I could see a sub happening, but I'm going to pick Juliana to win that fight. I think what will happen is I think it'll be a bit of a stand-up war. Raquel will edge it early through more accuracy, through her striking. But then I feel like as it goes on, Pena's going to keep that pressure going, and she's going to be persistent. I think eventually she's going to be able to work her takedowns and have more output as the rounds go on. I think she'll just get stronger round by round. Raquel will fade, and Pena will probably be able to win a hard-fought decision, potentially. That's my prediction. If Pena versus Rocky happens, it's Nunes victims fighting. Facts. That's true. That's true. Man, I really wish Pena beat Nunes twice because I want to know how Amanda would have reacted. Like, if that armbar like snapped Amanda's arm, or if Amanda tapped, how would Nunes react? Because she said she couldn't leave Pena with a title. She's not that good. Would Amanda Nunes, would she I don't want to say this word, I'll get demonetized. Would she K herself? I'm just kidding. But I know that would definitely forever hurt her pride. I wonder if she would have like asked for a trilogy or something because she was winning. And if she did get submitted, she could say, well, I was winning until she caught me in the armbar. Rocky is a submission threat to Pena. Yeah, Raquel does have good subs for sure. Nunes is scary. Who the F wants to fight that? Be Juliana Pena wants that, but is never going to get that smoke again. Um, Bro, Nunes destroyed her and won 6 out of 7 rounds against Pena. How you going to beat Nunes? I guess just get her tired as fuck. Yeah, it's basically anyone's only hope to beat Nunes. You got to catch her in something, whether it be a sub or a KO, or you got to just gas her out like Pena did. Yep, she is crazy, and definitely Pena being crazy did factor into her beating Nunes the first time because I don't think Nunes thought that Pena could just endure her power like that. And I think, yeah, Nunes took her lightly the first time. And I just think she didn't respect Pena's toughness and it costed her. And I think in the rematch, she took it more seriously. She was more prepared for Pena to be tough. And of course, she changed stances and she was more accurate with her striking. Jermaine learned the guillotine from the police academy. Sup, Lalita? Nunes is that scary, but Pena is that crazy. True. Yep, she caught Pena off guard. And like I've been saying, Juliana Pena, when she's expecting a submission threat, when she knows your jujitsu's good, she's unironically very hard to submit. Yeah, Amanda is very scary. She's got the strength of a man, the power of a man. She hits like a truck. I mean, in those highlights, did you see the way she knocked Pena off her feet? Like she sent Pena flying 5 feet across the octagon. Damn. And it's crazy how Pena was able to survive that and get up. Because your average human being would be out from that. Yeah, she definitely hits really hard. I mean, look at Nunes's face too. I mean, yeah, Pena got screwed up pretty bad, but Nunes, her face was all swell up and stuff from Pena's shots. The fighters are tough. Yeah, extremely tough for sure. From her from a headbutt, bro. Not the shots. No, I think the shots definitely did some damage. Like, yeah, the headbutt definitely gave her that big black eye. But if you remember in the first round, Pena landed a couple of shots and like Amanda's eyes started slightly swelling up already. But yeah, the headbutt definitely made it worse for sure. Like the headbutt already added to the damage that was already done, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But man, I'm so mad that armbar didn't get in because like I remember leaning forward in that like to that TV in my couch in my living room. I'm leaning forward. Oh yes, is Pena gonna win? Is she gonna win? Come on, Pena! Come on, make your tap. And then when Nunes got out, I was like, oh fuck, man, that fight was so bad. I don't want to even remember. That was terrible. As a Pena fan, and on my birthday week, that was just terrible. I was supposed to get Pena winning as a birthday gift, and instead she got destroyed. Happy birthday to me. Man, I've been on here for a couple hours. This is like the longest live stream I've ever done. Usually I'm like always on her here for like over an hour. Nunes whooping ass. Yep. Straight punches while Amanda was coming in. Aldana landed a straight punch when Amanda came in the first round. I remember that. I wish she would have capitalized on that. I wish Kat Zingano and Amanda Nunes fought again. I mean, obviously today Amanda Nunes destroys Kat Zingano, but I wish like maybe they fought again like 2016, 17. That probably could have. Well, no, 2017 Amanda kills Kat, but I feel like 2016 could have been Kat's best chance to beat her again. But it sucks that Kat couldn't stop losing because I really wanted that rematch as a chance for Nunes to get a chance to avenge that loss. I want to see Nunes add Zingano to her legacy, but Kat can't stop taking L's. It's like she lost to Pena on the same card as Nunes versus Tate. And if Kat could have beat Pena, she probably could have got a title shot. And then not only that, Kat can't stay healthy and she can't stay winning. Like she didn't fight for 2 years after UFC 200. And then she loses to Ketlin. And then she beats Marion. And then she loses to Megan Anderson on the same night as Nunes Cyborg. And then she gets cut by the UFC. And now it's like, yeah, we're not going to see that rematch now. But that was a different Amanda Nunes back then, man. Amanda was younger, a lot more reckless, didn't have the same skill set as she does now. Her cardio wasn't as good as back then. Amanda of today would do things a lot differently, but I would love to see like a prime Kat Zingano, like Kat who fought Misha versus today's Amanda Nunes. That would be very interesting. Pena's chin is unreal. It must be that Neanderthal jaw. Yeah, Pena's got a chin on her and she can recover too. Oh, Kat versus Rousey was so disappointing, man. I was like so excited for that fight. And I remember thinking Kat had a good chance. And then she ran in throwing that flying knee. And then she gets wound up in a scramble and gets tapped in an instant. That was annoying. That was annoying seeing Ronda get away with a quick one like that. Yeah, Pena's extremely tough. Tough and insane cardio. And I think that's what just makes her hard to deal with for a lot of girls is that she's tough, she's always relentless, and when you're slowing down, she's still there, still coming. Like her cardio is something that no one ever talks about. Like Juliana Pena is like a Colby Covington with lesser striking and lesser wrestling. I'm not trying to disrespect Colby, but they're very similar. Cardio, chin, grappling style, volume. Yeah, Kat was supposed to beat Ronda. Yeah, what she did to Misha was brutal for sure. I got 6 viewers so far. What kind of music do you like, DJ? I like all kinds of music. I like a lot of mainstream music, pop, hip hop, R&B. That stuff I'd like typically play at like parties I DJ'd for in the past. Misha thought that was like an early stoppage though. Like she got dropped by a knee and then the ref stopped it. But I don't know, man. I think the ref saved her life there. You should have 200 people in there. I know. I wish I did. Sometimes I wish like I see these other channels that like get like 10,000 views the moment they post. Like 2 seconds into their post, they already have like 1,000 views. Whereas with me, it will take like a few days for me to even get 100 views. Yep. The crazy thing is that Amanda was better everywhere in the second fight, including cardio and pressure. I don't know if Amanda's cardio and pressure was better. I think She just did better at negating Pena's pressure. Like the early rounds, Pena started slow because she couldn't figure out the southpaw. And then the second round, Pena was just like, screw it, I'm just going to go all out, try to relive the first fight. And then Amanda in the southpaw was able to drop her where she couldn't see the right coming. And then round three, Amanda Nunes was slightly tired. Not that tired, but a little bit tired. And Pena was starting to kind of land her shots without being dropped. So Amanda Nunes switched it up. That was part of Amanda's game plan. Strike with her early, surprise her with the wrestling. So she was able to just hold her down in the third and fourth and fifth. But I mean, if Amanda Nunes chose not to wrestle at all, hot take, I think the fight would have been a lot closer and Pena would have had a better chance to win. Not because her striking is on the level with Nunes, but because I think the cardio and Amanda slowing down would have gave Pena a chance to land more. And Pena, you look at the stats. Pena had a lot of output. I'm going to look at the stats right now for Nunes versus Pena too. I'm just logging into my laptop right now, the long process. Let me see. Nunes versus Pena 2. Stats wise, Pena had more total strikes. Amanda had more significant strikes. Imagine if they spent more. Goddamn phone rung. I don't know who that was. But anyway, Pena could have definitely doubled her on those total strikes if they kept standing longer. But no, I don't think Pena got out cardioed in that fight. Amanda just fought really smart and was able to shut down Pena's pressure. You ever been to prison, DJ? What kind of question is that? Of course not. Have you been to prison? I know I haven't been to prison. Erin striking is so sloppy. Yeah, I mean, it looked better in her last fight, but against someone who's a predictable striker who just wins looping shots. Yeah, I'm glad I haven't been to prison, and I don't ever want to go to prison. All right, what else is there really to talk about? I've been on here for a while. I might sign off soon, but I will be posting more videos probably tonight or tomorrow. And I'll definitely be on here again soon. But I'm glad I've got a lot of views and comments. Like, I'm glad a lot of people are tuning into this. This is like the best my live has ever done. This is the longest I've ever been on live. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Alexa versus Val final prediction. Oh, well, I've already said a million times that I think Alexa will win. I think Alexa will win a close decision. Alexa Grasso by decision. I just think she'll come back better adapted and better prepared for what Valentina does so well. More than Valentina will be able to. I think she's just evolving more, progressing more. I think she'll be more ready for Valentina. And yeah, I think she wins a striking match. Suarez versus Andrade prediction. Tatiana by submission, and she sends Jessica on her way. Chandler versus Connor will happen. I hope so. I was gonna make an individual video on that, but I decided to talk about this on live. But I don't know how many people are gonna watch this when I post this, so I might do another video on that. But yeah, I mean, who knows? People are acting like there's no way this fight's gonna happen, but Chandler just has to wait. They can like give Connor another 6 months, like give him till January. Have him go in the give him another chance to go in the testing pool, and then Chandler versus Connor can happen early next year. It should happen, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off this, but thank y'all for tuning in, and until next time.